through security. So I just wanted to make a couple of announcements for those of you who are here about accessibility. We have some seats reserved up front for individuals using ASL interpreters because I know it might be difficult to hear. So we want to make sure everybody can see the interpreters. We have captioning at the top of the screen. And, feel free to move chairs around so that you can see and hear. If nothing else, people with disabilities are really good at being resourceful, right? So let's just make it work. We had a lot of people register, which is awesome. Unfortunately, bad things happen and it creates the turnout, but that's good. We really need to pull everybody together to advocate. Does everybody in the room have an orange packet? Good. And then those of you who are mentors, we're going to get you the other packets that we'll be distributing right after this briefing with the governor. I don't know if everybody knew that Governor Hobbs is going to join us this morning. So that's very exciting. So that will be the first thing that we do. And then and there's going to be a press conference after, so we have media in the room. And so once they leave with the briefing, we can add some more chairs off to this side. So just bear with us these first few minutes and spread the word to new friends as they come in. Hopefully you got some breakfast snacks and there's drinks and everything. And if anybody has questions, you can flag me down or give a yell. Everybody good for right now? Okay, and if anybody requested materials in large print, let me know. I'll get to you. Most of the things, some of the materials in the packets that you have are large print. We tried to make everything large print, but the fact sheets and the list of legislators got a little unwieldy, so we did do some other packets. Anybody else for large print, let me know. Okay, I see 2 so far. If I missed anybody, give a yell, okay?
We're still moving on to yeah, okay. So with that, so we need bathing. Well, I mean, can we just? Oh yeah, no. I was just worried about the governor's schedule. We're fine. We've still got another 10 minutes. Okay. Let me keep an eye on Dawn to make sure she gets.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Before we start.
If anything, I'll just work on it.
She's walking down right now, so as soon as she's standing at the door, I'll tell you to get started. Like, scoot it. Okay, got it. That good? Will you need to switch pages at all? Okay. And then, you know how to turn it on? You got it, Vicki? Okay. She's walking down right now, so as soon as she's out the door. Okay.
Where, do you see her? Huh? To my right. You see her in this room?
Oh, she's crouched down right here.
Oh. Oh, I see her now.
Back of her head, yeah.
You want to talk to her?
Okay, he's getting a message to Zeta real quick.
Oh, okay. Hey, Vicky.
We're good now? Okay. Can you just yell for people in the hallway to get in?
Yes, we'll be Megan and I will be here. And Andy and Siobhan and Alice. Here, or we'll be in town. So, yeah, we'll be around. However, let me honest. We're yours.
Can everyone hear me back? Can you hear me back? Raise your hand. All right, very much. Thank you. Well, we have a special guest today, so we're going to get started. So once again, I want to start by saying my name is David Carey, and I'm the president of Disability Advocacy Coalition. I want to thank you guys for being here today. If for some reason, if the mic goes out, you can't hear me, just raise your hand and yell at me if we don't went out. So I'm with the Arizona Disability Advocacy Coalition. Excuse me guys, can we go ahead and get started? Thanks. So I'm with the Arizona Disability Advocacy Coalition. Our mission is to advance the rights, choices, and value of people with disabilities through our individual and collective advocacy and education efforts. Before I proceed, I want to give a thank you to some of our committee members that have put in their hard work for this event for today. I want to thank Christine Dietrich, David Carey myself, George Garcia, Kelly Carvello, Louis Fazio, Melanie Adu, Nikki Suka, Ryan Berry, Vicky Casino, Melanie Mills, and I'm going to butcher her name, so I left it last. Rena Bejaner J. So I left her last name last because I knew I messed it up. I want your heartfelt gratitude to all our sponsors. Communication access was provided by the Arizona Commission for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. And as far as transportation, I want to thank the coordination and sponsorship provided by Ability 360, Direct Advocacy and Resource Center, 2 of Arizona Centers for Independent Living. I also want to thank United Access and Jim Click Automotive. We will have a they provided the raffle prize, which be given out at lunchtime. As far as administrative and on-site support, coordination of meals, registration, and other assistance provided by Arizona Statewide Independent Living Council. Ryan Berry, Arizona Chief, Melanie Mills, Dark of Arizona. So we have quite things accomplished today, but I want to first start by welcoming our governor, Governor Katie Hobbs. Please give her a round of applause.
Oh. Hi
Hi, good morning, everyone. It is really great to see so many advocates gathered here to fight for Arizonans with disabilities and chronic illness. But as I say that, it's unfortunate that this has to be a fight. It shouldn't be a fight. Disability is not a niche issue. 1 in 4 of us is living with a disability or a chronic illness. Many of you know that I'm a social worker, and I've always centered my work around helping others and improving the systems that help people with disabilities not just survive, but thrive. Systems like healthcare, affordable and accessible housing, and voting. I have never lost sight of why I originally ran for office, and I carry my experience as a social worker with me every single day. For Arizonans with disabilities, living the Arizona Promise means having the opportunity to live in affordable, accessible housing, and I'll continue to fight against any effort to make it harder to get housing accommodations. The Arizona Promise means being able to cast your ballot in the way that is best for you, not in the way that is most advantageous to any political party. I have vetoed recent attempts to dismantle ballot accessibility for Arizonans, and I won't tolerate making voting less accessible in our state. And more than anything else, the Arizona Promise means that you and your families receive the health care that you need to thrive. While a lot of progress has been made to support people living with disabilities, today that progress is under threat both at the federal and state levels. Arizona expanded Medicaid eligibility in a bipartisan effort in 2013, and it was a Republican governor, Jan Brewer, who signed it into law. My vote in the legislature to expand Medicaid remains the most impactful vote that I ever took. It was a proud moment for the state when we came together to do the right thing. Sadly, since that moment, the Republican majority has allowed these systems to deteriorate and made your rights and your health care a partisan issue. As Congress considers unprecedented cuts to Medicaid, which could result in the loss of health insurance for millions of Americans, the state legislature is doubling down by politicizing and weaponizing the Division of Developmental Disabilities. Funding for DDD is under threat because the legislative majority has decided that they want to use the people in this room as political pawns rather than serve you and do their jobs. Their negligence is jeopardizing the health, independence, and lives of more than 60,000 Arizonans with disabilities like autism, intellectual disability, and cerebral palsy who depend on DDD for health services and support for independent living. The same legislators who rubber-stamped Governor Ducey's request for supplemental funding year after year, who haven't batted an eye at the blank checks being written for pet projects, today are refusing to fund critical services for Arizona's most vulnerable populations. DDD services provide Arizonans with developmental disabilities the support, opportunity, and freedom needed to live your lives with dignity. This issue is too important to be politicized, and I am disheartened to see elected leaders dangle the security of you and your families so that they can go on a political power trip at your expense. I continue to call on the Republican members of the legislature to fund the DDD supplemental appropriation. At a time when people with disabilities are already facing unprecedented attacks and uncertainty in the face of threatened Medicaid cuts, the legislative majority is adding fuel to the fire and putting human lives on the line. And they're doing it because they are incapable of putting their political agenda to the side to do what's right for the people of our state. I have put forward a budget plan that protects DDD, that gives state troopers a raise, that lowers the cost of childcare, that tackles veterans' homelessness. If the legislative majority has an issue with any of these things, they should show Arizonans their plan. Let me be clear to each of you today. You are not a financial burden to this state or country. You are not lines in a budget that need to be cut. Disability and chronic illness are not a Democratic or Republican issue. Disability affects all of us. Each of you are a critical part of our community. You are entitled to affordable, accessible housing. You're entitled to accessible and quality education. You deserve easy access to the ballot. And you are entitled to the quality healthcare that supports your ability to continue to live and work in the community with independence and dignity. And you deserve a governor who will fight alongside you for these things. Know that I am proud to be in this fight with all of you. Thank you.